Hello, world. It's Wednesday, March 9th, and I'm Kat. You are ready? I am ready.
I'm ready.
Wonderful. Let me welcome everyone. Welcome to Wednesday, March 9th. This is the Convos with Kaz edition with my friend Mia Ferguson. So I am going to give you the best welcome that I know how, which is reading your bio.
Okay.
Mia K. Ferguson is the CEO and Executive Director of the Pinky Cole Foundation and CEO of Baltimore-based Cynful Cakes, LLC. An experienced business consultant, project manager, and humanitarian, Mia is driven by an entrepreneurial spirit with a passion for volunteering tracing back to childhood. With a background in volunteering for charitable organizations throughout her upbringing in Baltimore, Maryland, Mia attended Morgan State University and graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Marketing. While pursuing her undergraduate degree, she also worked as a general manager with Sodexo Marriott. She spent the early years of her career in service industry, where she gained valuable skills in philanthropy, hospitality, food and beverage, business development, and entertainment. Over the last 25 years, she has worked as an educator, general manager, territory director, and human resources manager. In 2008, Mia established M Squared Management and provided business consulting and management services across industries. Driven by a mission to help others, her single motivator is motivating and helping others. A pioneer in the business development space, Mia turned her role as Director of Human Resources at the fast-growing Slutty Vegan in Atlanta, Georgia. Since then, she's earned recognition as one of the top 10 influential human resource leaders of 2021 by Industry Era magazine and was nominated by the Global Summit on All Things Food and Beverage for 2021 Top 100 Food and Beverage Leaders Award. While continuing in her role with Human Resources, Mia has stepped into the role as the CEO and Executive Director for the Pinky Cole Foundation. In this position, Mia will further her passion for community outreach and charitable works. Convos with Kaz community. Throw your hands up, throw your emojis, whatever you want to do, and please welcome my guest, my friend Mia Ferguson, to Convos with Kaz.
Thank you so much for having me. Wow. I hear that and I'm like, wow.
You're like, who's this person?
Right. I'm like, wow.
It's you. And I'm going to toot my own horn here for a quick minute. But one thing that I love that I get to do at Convos with Kaz is I get to read and tell people about the person that I'm going to have an amazing convo with. So I take my time. Sometimes I bumble it a little bit, but I say it with joy and pride in my heart, and I hope that conveyed to everyone out there, because I'm humbled to have you here with me today.
Oh, bless your heart. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Okay, let's jump into it, because I know we got to keep this on time. So we live in a world where going to college is no longer like a prerequisite or even trade school, right? Entrepreneurism is on the rise. So think back to your high school and college years, what your career goals were. And would you say that you are what you wanted to be when you grew up?
Crazy part, and it goes before high school and college, to be honest with you. I was a little girl when we grew up. There was a store called Best. And Best was like, I guess Best is now what Target and Walmart used to be, is now, right? And so Best had like this aisle with like calculators and typewriters and all these office things that I just loved the buttons to push. And so didn't even think about it at that point. Middle school comes, still in love with pens and paper and calculators and typewriters. And at that point, computers weren't even really on the scene, but they were in my household. I started hustling now laters and Jolly Ranchers and everything to my 5th grade class.
all the things that I was looking for.
All the candy. I got to high school. I started hustling sodas. I would buy them for a case of 24 at $2.36 from, I think it was called Safeway at the time. Mm-hmm. And was selling for 50 cents a can. All the lunch periods. Got 2 people on my squad. I was making money, and my principal called my father and said, "Mr. Ferguson, your daughter is in here selling items and doing nails." I was doing nails. I wanted my nails done. My mother would not give me the money to get them done. And I was like, I'm going to figure this out. So I started doing nails. I learned how to apply acrylic. We're talking about 1992, 93.
Wow. Wait, were you doing this like in the lunchroom or in the bathroom?
Oh, I was doing it everywhere. For homeroom, it started off with press-ons. And then when I realized how to do the acrylic, people were coming to my house. My teacher, I had a teacher, God bless her soul, Miss Green. She has long passed. But Miss Green called my mother and said, listen, we got to keep her busy because this girl was out here doing it. And she threw me into the FBLA.
Okay, what's that?
Future Business Leaders of America.
Okay.
And when she threw me to the FBLA, the world of business from another perspective was introduced into my life because before then, both of my parents owned their own businesses, right?
Okay.
But
so you grew up in an entrepreneurial
I grew up in it. I grew up watching my mom and my dad help people professionally, personally. And when I got involved in that organization in the high school level, at that point, I knew business was my space. Great with numbers, didn't have the attention span to be an accountant. Went to school, was an accounting major at first. And then I was like, this is not going to work. And then I picked up secondary education, but I found that marketing, and I wanted to be a sports agent. I wanted to be a sports agent, but then they said, "Oh, you got to go to law school." I was like, "I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it."
Well, wait. A little birdie told me that maybe you are in law school or going to law school.
So fast forward 25 years later.
Okay.
I got accepted into law school at the top of the pandemic. All the stuff that was going on in our country.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It resonated in my spirit, and I was like, how can I help what's going on in our world, in our country? And I was like, the only way we can change the law is to be part of making the laws.
Say it one more time for the people in the back.
And so I in my brain said, Mia, the only way you can be a part of changing the law is to be part of making the laws. And so I was like, the only way I can do that is to go to law school. But that was after avoiding it for 25 years.
Okay. So it sounds like you are who you wanted to be when you grew up, sans the sports agent part or sports management, right? Because you've been hustling food products.
Everything.
Since fifth grade.
Right? Everything. I've been hustling since fifth grade. And right after my mother passed away, someone came to me and said, Mia, you need to start doing this. People need you. They need your help. And I'm like, well, how do you want my help? And I recognized that there was a space for me, but my space was with small businesses.
Is that when you started M Squared in 2008? Okay.
I started M Squared Management. A lot of my clients at the time, they were promoters who just didn't understand contracts. They wanted to get into venues. They didn't understand the procedures. Well, I already had my experience in food and catering and service in the industry about what dynamics you needed to look at when you're trying to book a venue. So I started reeling in on all these experiences that I had. I said, oh, wait a minute. I kind of know a lot.
I could do this. Because think about it, right? Think back to, I love the fact that you were hustling now laters and sodas, right? In fifth grade. But think about it. You had some of the most pickiest clients, right? Because I remember, I don't want that banana flavor. I don't want grape. I want the red one. And you were dealing with trying to figure out nails, like you were moving and shaking. Yep. And somebody saw that, right? I'm not even following my script here. But somebody saw that entrepreneurial spirit in you so young, and you came from that type of household that your parents were like, she gonna be okay. Like, yeah, put her in that program. We're glad you see what we see.
I did. Before my mother passed, she said, listen, you don't have to work for anybody. But it was so embedded in my brain. Oh, but mommy, I gotta do this. I gotta get a job. I gotta do this. And she kept saying, no, Mia, you don't. And I didn't get it. But as life progressed, time progressed, experiences progressed, relationships progressed, I recognized that I was definitely in that space. And I just kept digging and kept learning. People would say, oh, I want to publish a book. Oh, let me go get those resources. Oh, I want to promote this. Oh, let me figure that out. Oh, I want to do this. Let me go do this. Oh, I want to open a business in this country. Oh, let me figure that out for you. So I became a vessel of a lot of information.
That is fantastic. So let's talk about the next thing here. I go down these rabbit holes holes when I get super excited about people I'm going to talk to or things that I want to do, right? My friend, Dr. Stevens is on here. She knows that. She's been in some rabbit holes with me. So Amex Open's 2019 State of the Women-Owned Business Report says that the number of women-owned businesses climbed 21%. This is between 2014 and 2019 to a total of nearly 13 million. As of 2019, women of color, wait for it, people, women of color account for 50% of all women-owned businesses. Amen. So talk to the Convos with Kaz community about your decision to be a part of Cynful Cakes, and then we'll go into the Pinky Cole Foundation.
You know, it wasn't, again, God, it wasn't even a decision. Two very close friends of mine, one whom is now Cynthia's husband, and another one who is like a brother to me, was just like, you know, she has this business. At the time, I think she was still selling cupcakes from a truck, and you know, the business grew and she needed help. And I was like, well, listen, what do you need help with? And she was like, the emails won't stop, the messages won't stop, I need a system. So I was like, well, if you need an assistant, I got you. What do you need? I would check her emails. I would go through all these. I helped her.
Way to help a sister out. I appreciate that. That's humble. No, all you know, you're like, I'll help you. I'll be your sister.
I'll help you. But that's literally how I moved into the space. Oh, I'll help you. Right. And she was like, oh my gosh, thank you. She got it. She kind of had her system going. She got it together. She was still scaling her business. At this time, she had just moved into her first location.
So pause right there and tell people that are tuning in, what is Cynful Cakes?
Oh, Cynful Cakes, Cakes by Cynthia, as a lot of people know her. Cynthia is Baltimore-based, Baltimore bred, has the gift from God on decorating the most fabulous cakes. But it's just her art. That's what she loves to do. But she has these amazing cupcakes. That's how it started. It all started with cupcakes.
Okay.
And the patented Snickerdoodle cupcake. And so her business, and it's so funny because both of their stories align so much. Her business just blew up, and it got so big, and she started to have to hire people, but she didn't know how to hire people. She went from making cakes from her kitchen to selling cupcakes out of a truck.
She didn't understand the operation side, the business side of it, the finance side of it. Okay.
Well, here's Mia, and now we're talking about
Mia hustling now ladies and sodas since 5th grade.
Literally, who had this GM experience with Sodexo Marriott when she was in college, right? Oh, well, let me set up these. And so I started recognizing operations and productions management. Oh, the class I failed twice. That's okay. Because We're
still here. And you got accepted during the pandemic to law school. Keep going, sis.
Yeah, I got it right. And so it started moving and moving and moving. So I helped her. I'd be like, Cynthia, you got it? You good? She's like, sis, I got it. I'm good. Okay, great. Business started growing, kept growing. She was like, sis, I think I need you, but I'm not ready yet. Because, you know, it's a balance of finances and scaling. And she knows your worth. You know what that says? She knew your worth, and she knew that she couldn't expect you to do more because she couldn't pay you what you were worth. I appreciate that. She really did, because what I love about her so much is that she knows her lane and she knows what she knows, but she wanted to know her business. And so she said, listen, I think I need to bring you back. And I said, well, what do you need? She said, I need somebody to help me with these contracts. I need somebody to help me figure these things out. I need somebody to bounce these ideas off, because she didn't come from a space like I did. She didn't come with, you know, I overheard my dad all the time talking through contracts and proposals and bidding and, you know, budgeting and all these things. And my mom scaling. So I heard, I said, say less, I got you, right? I got you. Figured it out. I said, listen. She paid me, I think I originally was like $150 a week or something. It was crazy. It was something so minimal, because she didn't need me to operate her business. She needed me to help her scale her business, right? Okay. And we fast forward. Now she fast forward. She moved from that one location to a bigger location. She got another truck. She's delivering. She's doing our orders. She's hiring people. And next thing we know, we have folks asking her to open up locations in other. Right, so she starts opening up.
So she's franchising, or she's
she wasn't franchising. She was just opening up other, right, because the demand called for it. And so her need to have me around increased. Fast forward, the year before last, so what did we, 2022? So 2019, she had a conversation with me, and she was like, listen, get through this year with me. I need you to sit in my business with me. And I said, what do you mean? She said, sis, listen, I'm an owner. I love my business, but I don't know what you know. Sit with me. She said, I want you to be my CEO. And I was like, girl, you don't need me to be your CEO. She was like, Mia, I do. And it wasn't because she needed me to be her CEO. I think we had developed a relationship of trust.
Mm-hmm.
She knew that whether it was in contract or not contract, if she called me, she had me, right? And so Cynthia and I have been rocking for a long time, and she really helped me understand that I became picky with the people who I helped do work with, because I began to recognize how pleasurable it was to help someone who wanted to help themselves.
So let's pause there, right? Because what you're saying is a full book. When you are an entrepreneur or when you are doing business, it is okay to be selective as to who you want to work with. Mm-hmm. I think that is so important, and a lot of people miss that. You don't have to work with everything. Just because that looks like a really big contract over there, big contracts might come with very big headaches and very big red tape, or a lot of red tape. So go ahead and get you 10 of those small little contracts with good people that really value your opinion, that really trust what you do, and say, I'm going to hire you to do this, and I'm going to allow you to do this, right? A lot of people get into situations in business where they're like, I don't know how to do this. And then they bring in an accountant that's stealing money off the top. You know, they bring in a marketing person that is marketing to the wrong people. Right. So I love the fact that she trusted you and is like, I really need you. And you trusted her enough to be like, I know you need me, and you'll allow me to do for you what I can do.
Yep. And that's huge. That's literally how that happened. And so we have been rocking and rolling ever since.
That's awesome. And I just want to say something else about that. When I was like digging down my rabbit hole in research, I realized I went to her page and I'm like, this kind of looks like a decorating store, right? So what I want to say to everybody is that she found a market, but she found a gap in a market, right? Like,
huge gap.
She's got those the frosting, I think, but she also has everything you need if you are a baker. She also does classes, I saw. So were you a part of like creating all of those different modes of what is it called, moolah, basically, in her business to help her kind of expand that?
The structure. So she'll call me. Usually Cynthia and I'll go out of town every 3 months. And by the time we come back, there's an idea that she comes up with these ideas, and I just help her structure it. I help her figure out how to align it with the business. I help her figure out any part that just makes that process easier. And I tell her all the time she's a genius. I don't think she believes it because all she sees is herself in one space. But I'm like, sis, you've created an entire space. That drip is the patent pending, only drip of its kind, no heat required. So that drip, she found a space in her that no one tapped into. Literally no one tapped into it. So all I do is I just help her guide through that process.
I appreciate that. She found a space and she brought in the right people to help her guide and operate in that space and grow. So let's move on to the other thing that you do, right? CEO and executive director for the Pinky Cole Foundation. You know, I was thinking about all this, and I see all the stuff that Pinky Cole is out there doing, and I was like, you know, everybody wants to talk to the people that they see in front of the business. But you went from HR director at Slutty Vegan to CEO of the Pinky Cole Foundation. This is why I want to talk to you, right? I mean, I think you're a dope woman. I have so much respect for you. But I also can appreciate that she saw the unicorn she had in you. So
she is a unicorn herself.
Unicorns find other ones, right? And she's a hustler, and she found that she has a team of hustlers. From what I can see, you are part of that as well. So talk to us about, I went to the website before you start talking to us, and it says, we focus on empowering generations of color to win in life, financially, and in the pursuit of their entrepreneurial dreams. Breaking the cycle of poverty through education, empowerment, and entrepreneurship. Hard stop.
Hard stop. So do you want me to start there? Do you want me to start to how I got there?
I want you to start wherever it is, because so what I want to talk about, Convos with Kaz, is for everybody, right? I have these conversations with people I want to speak to, kind of going back to who you want to work with. So who I want to work with, because I am excited. I know that they have so much to say. And there are people that I want to be able to relate to, everyone on the other side of their phones looking at us and listening. So you can start where you are, where we have about 10 minutes left. You can start how you got there and then what you do there, because I think that is super important for people to understand.
Got it. So how I got there, business grew. So, I mean, everyone who's followed the brand understands how fast that brand, the Slutty Vegan brand, grew, right? And with that comes operational support that's needed. And my history and background, part of that is human resources.
Yep.
And to create that structure, Pinky was like, Mia, listen, I need some help with this HR. I don't know it, but I know I need it. And I'm like, Pinky, my HR years are over, because it's a lot of people management. There's a lot that comes with HR. But she asked me, I said, I got you. But I want to be able to volunteer is what I said. I said, but let me be able to volunteer with the foundation, because what you are doing with that is where my heart is. And so I'll fast forward. I was coming up on about 6 to 8 months in that role, coming down
as an HR manager, as an HR director. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Coming down to the wire, kind of, structured the things. She gave me a to-do list, because she's great with a to-do list. And I executed the to-do list, and I was like, this is where I'm at. This is where we're good. And and she called me one morning, and she was like, listen, you've been out here looking for a director for the foundation. And I was talking to Stacy, who was our chairman of the board. And she said, well, I think Mia should do it. And she called me. I will never forget. It was a Saturday morning. I was laying in bed. I was just kind of deprogramming from the week. And literally, it was on my mother's birthday. And I just started crying. I said, Pinky, are you serious? And she said, yup, because it's in your heart. And I said, it absolutely is. From that moment, so much opened, because I'm now in a space where I get to help the young and the older feel a space of confidence and supporting, opening, structuring, strategizing their business. It's something I've been doing for people for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
But now I have this cute little person who's the forefront of it, right? She's 4 foot something, right? Powerful. Her energy is just so magnetic that people are inspired by her, but she's one person, right?
Yeah.
And I always tell people about Cynthia and Pinky, I'm like, listen, they are why. They're the why we're here. And their why is so powerful. I said, I'm so blessed to be a how it gets done, right? How it gets done. So
let's talk. So what it is that there are people that are the why, right? The whys of the world, right?
Yep.
Why? We can do this. This is why. This is why we need to do this.
Yep.
And then there are the yous that are the who's,
the house.
I just wanted to reiterate that, because people need to understand everyone has a lane, and they are just as significant and impactful and important.
Yep. And that how has always been my happy space, because seeing people go from idea to actualization is always what generates me to move on to the next phase. Seeing people have that energy to move forward, but they might not know how. I'm so in love with the idea of being able to help. So when I really got to dive in and read all the things that she wanted to do with the foundation, I was like, oh my goodness, this is where I'm supposed to be. And from the Square One initiative, when we're ensuring 25,000 Black men, it launches next Wednesday. I'm so excited.
So let's pause there. What is the Square One initiative?
Square One initiative is a program that Pinky and Derek Hayes came up with to ensure Black men. Square One came again during that whole unrest that our country's going through, even though we're still going through it. But they just found the need for our men to be able to be insured. Number one, there's a form.
Oh, I did read about that.
Yeah. So that whole idea compelled me to just, again, fall in love with the idea of what it was and to be excited about doing the work. We came in, strategized, organized this idea that they had, looped in tons and tons of phone calls between all these insurance carriers, found the right one. And we are ready to launch.
That you were able to select, right?
We are
goes back to being able to select who works best for what you're trying to do in this world.
Yep. And from there, we are so excited to be able to move through this country. I looked at that idea and I said, Pinky, do you understand that this is an international effort?
You guys are shaking the ground with this foundation. Like, the work that you're doing is going to stand the test of time. And I'm just let me gloat on you guys for a moment. It's going to stand the test of time, and people are going to figure out, not just in Atlanta, not just in Baltimore, not just in the US, how to do that where they are, because everyone wants to help, but no one has seen a map, no one has seen a blueprint.
Right.
And what she is doing is creating that.
Creating
It's going to be carved in stone. So thank you.
Literally creating the blueprint, like being able to loop in all these partners who have been trying to figure out how to get their foot in the door. And then here comes Pinky, the unicorn she is, right? And it's like, okay, this is what I want to do. Activate, Transformers activate. So it was just a beautiful thing. So 1150 gets to Ensure Our Black Men for a year. We are paying for it. The Pinky Cole Foundation is taking on that responsibility of being able to support them, but not just the insurance, being able to support them in all of the things that have made life a little harder for them, whether it be in getting things expunged, whether it be parenting crisis for dads, whether it be just understanding who they are and how dynamic our Black men are in the space. You know, we are putting us in a space where we can rebrand and recognize how strong we are together. And it starts in our community. And
go ahead, sorry, I got excited. Sorry, go ahead.
Because I get excited, I know, I'm sorry. But it's just exciting. Sometimes I can't even go to sleep because my brain is just racing with all these that happen.
I can't even imagine what that, I can't wait to have that feeling that you just said, which is, I can't go to sleep because I'm thinking about all the good I'm out here doing in the world. Like everybody that's listening, that's how you should want to live, right? You should be like, I can't go to sleep because I know that this is coming up and this is going to be shaking the earth with what we're doing. But I do have a question about that. So is that information going to be on the Pinky Cole Foundation website for people to understand?
It's going to be everywhere. So it's on the foundation's website under Square One. It's on our link tree on social media on Pinky Gives Back. You'll see tons of promotion going on between us, the Derek Hayes Foundation, Prudential, who is our partner. You'll see a lot of things coming out, just how to support, how to sign up, how to engage. We're looking to have this to be a celebratory moment in life. Days, months and months, years and years, centuries and centuries of growing through our communities. Because
you guys are breaking generational gaps, generational curses. You're breaking cycles. Like that's what people need to know. There are people that have never had this, that don't really understand how important life insurance is. I was talking to my tax lady today. She's like, "You got life insurance outside of your company?" I was like, "Absolutely, I do." Because I didn't. 2 years ago, I didn't understand how important independent life insurance is. Yes. And as Black men, with everything that's going on in this world, they need it, and they need to understand how to take care of their families when they're no longer here too.
Absolutely. And how you can take care of your family while you're here with the policies and what you can do with it. So there's education that comes in with this. There's events, there's seminars, there's sessions, there's fun, there's music, there's laughter, there's support. There's so many things that we have planned to be able to execute and to tap into these communities on the ground with our feet, running in the communities to be able to support. And that's...
I love it. You know what I love even more? Is that you're bringing happiness and joy and information and education back into the communities where it was there for a while, but it's been gone, especially with everything that we've been going through in the last 3 to 5 years, right? With how Black men, Black women, just as a culture, how we've all been treated. And even just the people of color, right? So you're bringing the joy, the confidence that I can do this and I'm deserving of it. You're bringing that back into the community through the Pinky Cole Foundation. So I am thanking you. I love Black men. So I'm thanking you for the Black men that I love, the Black men that I will love, that I encourage, because they need that. We can't do it as individuals. Like there have to be organizations and there have to be allies. Like you said, Prudential is, there have to be those bigger organizations to help us move our communities forward faster and stronger and consistently.
It starts with us. It starts with understanding that we have the power to make it happen, right?
Absolutely.
Unicorns that are out here, the Pinkies, the Dereks, and so many other individuals. Yourself.
So let's talk about that. Because you're also bridging a gap with the Pinky Cole Foundation and one of our mutual friends, Osei. So talk about how you are not just bridging a gap, but transcontinentally, you are literally bridging a gap for youth, for them to have more experience. So give the Convos with Cast community a little more understanding on that.
So that comes through our educational programming. So educational programming with regards to entrepreneurialism is where the conversation started, right? It was part of her, what we call the roadmap to the Pinky Cole Foundation. And with that conversation came different partners who support in those entrepreneurialism spaces. So we have, if you want to start a business, how you do it from A to Z geared towards children. If you have a business, how you can do these things geared towards adults. But then as we thought about all of the things that set us back, education and how it's been aligned in our country it's needed transformation for a long time. As a teacher, I saw it hands-on, right? So one day I was just sitting, I said, you know what? We need to align what we want to do with the curriculum that's already established. Started mapping it out, started aligning. I said, well, you know what? How do we tap into that group of kids that college is just not for them? Oh, I know. And literally, I was like, oh, we create a space for trades, right? For trades. HVAC, mechanics, beauty, whatever it is. And so when we talk about where we are nationally, we can't ignore the international space. We can't ignore where we come from. And so just happened to be in another meeting and was asked to just give some strategy on some things. And I said, hey, listen, I'll sit at this table with you if you allow me to use your catalyst to be able to connect our children here in a program we're developing to go to this country, wonderful Ghana, and to be able to create this entire economic development space that doesn't exist, because our way of the automobile industry does not exist in Ghana, right? But Ghana, another one of those countries being where a lot of Black women are millionaires and business owners. I just saw a space and I said, oh, so we can take this and we can transform this here.
You became the how now.
It became the how, because we already had the why. People was like, listen, we need to teach our kids how to be entrepreneurs, how to build businesses. And it's not going to always start in a college classroom for some of them, right? And so that became an idea. And so when people begin to say they want me to help them with something, I'm like, okay, well, listen, I'll help you. I don't need $1. But when I start putting this program together, you need to allow this program to funnel through what you're doing. And he said, I got you. And I said, you sure? Tourism, relationship sealed the day after Christmas with Ghana. The programming, we've been having a lot of conversations with Clayton County. We've been having some conversations with juvenile justice. We are trying to get these programs instituted beginning in the summertime to go into the 2021, 2022 school year. And we're working. So there's so many pieces of that map, that blueprint that you call it, right? There's so many pieces, but all I literally do, I have this huge window in my apartment. I was like, you know what? I need to start mapping this stuff out. And that's what I do. Every night before I go to bed, I just add another drop to the map.
That's why you can't go to sleep.
That's why I can't go to sleep.
You power up before you're supposed to be powering down, but you power up.
Literally, I power up before I'm supposed to power down. I need to stop, but I do. I can't stop right now. We have too much to do right now. We have too much to do.
I know that's right. Yeah, with all the and I paused there because with all that you have going on, you're still saying I map this out every night. So you connect the dots from where that day ended to where that day needs to start tomorrow as an entrepreneur. And you see that there's so much work to be done. But again, you guys are creating a blueprint. So yes, as hard as this map is to carve out and to create and figure out, you are making it easier for the next group of people that were going to come in and take what you've done to the next level. They're going to take them to wherever it is that they need to go, that they didn't think they could get to before the Pinky Cole Foundation, with you at the helm, started this. So
that's the goal. That's the goal, to see that they have support. We have support.
Awesome.
We want to do. We have support. That's the goal. And to
that is fantastic. Now I'm going to ask. Do you have a few more minutes to stay, Mia?
Gotcha. Yep.
Wonderful. I'm going to ask if anyone has any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. I see some of your, I see you have pink and green nails on too, Mia. I noticed that.
Do that. Don't do that.
But one of your sorors down here was saying that she loves all this. So that made me say that, and this is one of my best friends, so I joke.
Oh, okay.
But that made me ask, like, if you guys have any questions for me about what's going on, what's coming up with the Pinky Cole Foundation or Cynful Cakes, how she did that, what Cynful Cakes is doing, please put that in the questions right now, as I am going to ask one more question as we hopefully wait to get some questions, which is, all of us want to be out here doing work, right? I'm trying to have some conversations about some really great things that I think I can be the how for as well, with some really amazing people that are shaking the ground in different ways. But with regards to the Pinky Cole Foundation, how can people help, right? Like, I know that, what was it, Christmas time, we were trying to get together and do like a little collaboration with another organization I was working with, and that didn't help. But are you guys taking volunteers? I know you're always taking money, right? So let's talk about what's coming up and where people can actually show up now that we're coming back into the world, and how they can send money.
So you can donate on the website. You go pinkygivesback.com. The donate button is to the right. Click on that. You can make a donation of any amount. You can volunteer. There is a volunteer portal through the Pinky Gives Back as well. People can. I give people my phone number. I'm gonna be honest.
Sorry, what?
I give people my phone number.
Okay.
I give it because this is the thing. People who want to show up, they show up, right? If you show up, I'm gonna embrace it. I'm gonna accept it. I'm gonna thank you for it, because this is not the work of one person. This is the work of many. This is the village that we're talking about, right? And so between the Square One initiative with our insurance, it takes $11.50 to insure a Black man. $11.50. Get a couple of your friends and have them donate $11.50 to the website, because we're
$11.50.
$11.50 gets our man a $50,000 policy. A $50,000 policy. We worked. Wait. And I'm about to lose my light, so I want to make sure you say this again, and I understand it because I'm going to post this. $11.50. If they donate that to the Pinky Cole Foundation, it helps insure our Black man. Yes.
Did everyone hear that?
$11.50, please.
$11.50. It's that simple.
Our goal is to insure 25,000 Black men by next year, and we are definitely on our way to doing that. It's about to become a very, 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 very fun thing to do, to engage, but $11.50. Our programs will be jumping off in the next couple of months with regards to our classes, with the schools and the students. We give back in different ways. We support a lot of community organizations, whether it be feeding, whether it be clothing, whether it be collecting, whether it be just showing up. But we love to show up. Tell us.
Yeah, show up. And here's what I'm going to say. Like, you're not going to say this, but I'm going to say this because I do volunteer a lot for organizations. When you show up, don't show up and say, oh, I want to serve food. When you show up with an open heart and be willing to do whatever it is that the organization needs you to do. And sometimes it's not fun. Sometimes you don't get to see anybody because you're dragging chairs or pulling tables. And ask me how I know, because I've done it. But what I'm saying is that volunteering is not, and I've learned this, right? One of my friends had to gather me. It's not what I want to do. It is what needs to be done. So please, I'll say that, because Mia's really nice and she does want you to show up, but I want you to show up and do whatever needs to be done, not what you want to do. So how can individuals support the programs you mentioned? I think you just said that. How can we volunteer safely for education for the trades? I'm not really sure what you meant by that, Jax. But this one friend is, she might be somebody that is good to get in contact with because of what she does with environmental health and safety, and she's your sorority sister. I say she's a sister I never wanted, but I love her dearly. She's good people. But I know that you are pressed for time, and you are going to give your time to some other women out here because you live what you said about volunteering and the service that you provide to the community. Jackie, I will put you in touch with Mia. She said she gives her number. I'll give you her number. I know that you won't bombard her. But Mia, I'm a little disappointed that we're not going to dinner like you said. Listen, but it's all good.
It's a long day, but we have a lot to talk about.
We absolutely do, but I'm not going to leave on that. No, I'm going to leave by saying I'm so humbled that I reached out to you to have a conversation, and you were just like, okay, what do you want to talk about? And I was like, I want to kind of bridge the gap, talk about what you're doing. You're like, fine. And we talked maybe 1 or 2 times. I was like, send your bio. But what I'm saying is that people, when you really want to do something and you believe in it and you have a story, reach out to people, talk to them. It's kind of like with helping, right? Just take a step to help, because people want help, but people also want to help.
Yes, communicate. You all I can say is no. I ask people. That's what I do all day long. I just talk to people. I talk to people and I help understand how we can be of service to each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can't say thanks enough for this amazing convo with me tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Convo with the Cast community, again, please throw your hearts, your hands, and thank Mia Ferguson, a unicorn in her own right, working for and with unicorns in their own right to serve the community, not just in Atlanta, not just in Baltimore, not just in the US, as you heard her say, transatlantic.
Worldwide.
So, worldwide. Jump in, jump on. The blueprint is being made as we speak. And reach out if you need it. So Mia, my friend, thank you so very much for an amazing convo. And I cannot wait to hug your neck in person.
Yeah, I know. We have a lot of catching up to do.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night.
You as well. Bye-bye.
Bye.